Hello, everyone who is ready for some Akashic Records guidance. If you're new to my channel, welcome. I'm Anika. I'm a spiritual intuitive who specializes in soul level guidance and the Akashic Records. And if you are new to the Akashic Records, they are this beautiful spiritual resource, infinite spiritual resource. Really, it is very popular, and it is great to understand them as this energetic library of the soul, because they are this beautiful field around and parallel to the earth that is infinite, but also part of our spiritual DNA. And the records contain the insight, the spiritual guidance that is helpful to us and is obviously very spiritual, but also very practical, can help us on our spiritual awakening and in life. So if you're here because you're drawn to this video, you're drawn to my vibration and energy, I'm already in the Akashic Records. I'm fully transparent. I'm connecting with my own records. And because we're related in consciousness, some of this guidance will, and hopefully most of it, resonate with you. We're going to start with a general message, but we are doing our final part of the relationship series, where after the general guidance, we tap into particular questions. These questions are inspired by my own questions, my clients' questions. I've been working in the records since 2012 and reading them for myself and others. And I also teach. If you're interested in that, the links will be in the description. So this was a long intro, but let's dive into the general message. And right away, even in a past video, I saw a lot of emotional healing, right? The probability and the opportunity for you to sort of bring into the light things that are no longer serving you around relationships, particularly relationship with yourself, and that will reflect in the relationships with others. Now, this may sound like something that's common sense, but it is coming from the records, guys. So I am really just bringing through that information. It has a lot to do with healing your heart chakra. Also, for some reason, healing, they're showing me the sacral, the root chakra, specifically sacral. There are some things that have happened to a lot of us in past lives. A lot had to do with abuse, sometimes even self-abuse, giving away power, and really some not so pleasant scenarios from the past lives that have been stored in these lower chakras. They connect to survival and where we had to survive. Also, they're bringing up with the pattern of arranged marriages and sort of you not having a choice when it comes to relationships with self and others, and self-sacrifice in that regard, right? Where you had to do what's best for the family, for, your relationship, for society, how the society would look like. This is not romanticized. This is the real life scenarios that are coming from the records. They're just giving you a general imagery so that you can relate. I know we romanticize a lot of things from the past centuries, but trust me, even what's coming from the records is, as much as we want to romanticize, and I'm a big romantic. I love Jane Austen. I love Bridgerton. I love all of the romance out in the world. I have Neptune on my ascendant. I am super romantic. But what's coming from the records is that, yes, there was romance, but a lot of times this romance was not in marriage. And marriage was looked upon as this practical, very common sense. I mean, you can remember, right, Jane Austen. You can remember Emily Bronte if you're into reading, right? We now have Jacob Elordi. I haven't seen the movie. And Margot Robbie in that beautiful Emily Bronte novel that's been adapted again. And so I'm looking forward to seeing it. But it does relate to the reality, right? Somebody marrying somebody out of that is there's no romance, right? Like somebody marrying for practical societal reasons. And the records are really particular about bringing that up into your awareness, because that could have been one of the scenarios. Remember, many lifetimes, many different expressions that you have had to go through, not in a romantic way, but this was the reality, and it caused a lot of resentment, and it caused the awareness that sometimes love and passion do not belong in relationships, which is a limited belief. For some of you, you're meant to have a relationship where this time it's your choice, right? And you can have romance, and you can have chemistry in a relationship, don't disregard the compatibility, just putting my 2 cents here. But there is possibility to have that in relationships. And maybe you're cut that off or cut that out or don't know how to bring that into your relationships if you're currently in one. Or maybe you're leaning into heavily into chemistry, myself included, up until this point, right? So maybe you have included chemistry and that was sort of what you missed in past lives and you wanted it so badly that you just disregard all the other boundaries and everything else because that is something you craved. So the records are bringing this into your awareness so you know not to judge yourself too harshly. Chemistry and passion can be very valid and important for some of you. As a matter of fact, it is very nice to get that oxytocin, dopamine hit, but it's got to be also grounded. So there is this choice, right? You can create a relationships that actually really suit you. If you love passion, then bring the relationships that are passionate. If you are more of a practical person, bring the practicality. There's nothing wrong with that, right? And if you need, which I think we all do both, right, in relationship, because the chemistry does wear off, bring the two. But it is about co-creating the relationship. And it stems with you acknowledging what is it that you truly desire and who is it that you are and what really fits you as a person and as a soul, opposed to this romanticized, even like the spiritual energy of the twin flames and the whole soulmate. This is not, the records are saying, about the one. It is about the one that you are, that you're going to align with someone that truly complements you. And this is not the reality that was possible in past lives. Not to digress too far, this is a very powerful message. I hope you resonate. We're going to jump into questions. And these questions are very profound. I've really glanced over them. We have 4 questions. We're going to dive right in. The first one, what is the highest form of love and partnership my soul is ready to receive? Wow. Well, one of the things the records are bringing up is you have to admit, not you have to, but it is really helpful. This is what they're saying. It's really helpful for you to admit to yourself, what is it that you are capable and ready for? Not everyone out there watching this video is ready for this over-the-top partnership, marriage, and romance, and, meaning marriage, really, and partnership. Some people are ready for living together apart. Some people are ready for casual with some flair into like a relationship that fits you. Don't get stuck, the records are saying, on the labels. Really admit. When they say admit, they mean confess. They mean acknowledge what you really want. What do you desire? Don't try to fit into any kind of boxes of society. This is why you're here, to challenge the status quo. If you desire more space in relationships, confess to yourself, admit it, acknowledge, appreciate. Okay, so you need more space in a relationship. Does that make you an avoidant person? Maybe. We have these labels that we put on both in psychiatry, psychology, which can be helpful scientifically to identify certain patterns. But in the records, what they're really leaning into is, what is it that would serve you at this moment in your life? At this present moment. This is not 10 years from now. It is not what served me in the past. Where are you? And I can tell you, for me, I am ready for that marriage and partnership and relationship based on compatibility. I love chemistry. Yes, I do need chemistry. I'm a Leo moon and a Sag rising. I'm a Cap sun, but I do need that chemistry. But at this point in my life, I'm in my 40s and I really just want compatibility. I want to marry my best friend. That's just what I am. I'm stating this out loud so it becomes maybe easier for you. But I want you to do that, and this is what the records are recommending. That's what your soul is ready. Whatever your person, where you are, that's where the soul is like, I want to experience love the way that my person, the one I'm chosen, right? You, the person, is ready for. Not something that I think I'm ready, not something that other people think I'm ready for, not something society is dictating, what I am available for. Okay, that's the answer to the first question. Let's move to the question number 2. How can I manifest a relationship that I truly desire? Dun, 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 the manifestation. How can you manifest? Well, first, what's coming from the records is a lot of us are trying very hard. That's what the records are saying, and the beings and the records are saying, stop trying so hard. Okay, you got this. And they're being a little cheeky about it because they just want you to relax. And they want us to all relax. Acknowledge where you are. We just answered question number 1, what you're capable of, what you desire, and then let it go into the universe, detached from the outcome. Now, there are some practical things that you need to do as a human. What does that mean? Do you need to put yourself on the apps? Do you need to put yourself in the environments? Remember, you are already vibrating with what you desire when you acknowledge what you really desire. When you don't acknowledge what you desire, then you can't attract what you desire. This is what's coming from the records. I'm not saying this. So when you become aware, when you confess to yourself, this is what I'm ready for, this is what I'm available for, you're already putting that in your, Abraham Hicks calls that vortex. And that's what you're vibrating. And you're attracting different people. And then you acknowledge, is this person aligned with me? Are they not aligned with me? Are they aligned? Are they not aligned? There are going to be some practical aspects you're going to need to do, because manifesting is not just visualizing. It is not just present moment being. It is about present moment being, acknowledging your desires, what you're available for, and then taking the necessary steps. They're saying taking small steps. And this is not about obsessing about it. They want you to really relax. Take a deep breath. You got this. That's what they want to leave you with. Number 3, what inner shifts need to happen to welcome this relationship into my life? Well, that's very interesting, they're saying, because the inner shift is really the first 2 questions. It is not so much about inner shift, they're saying, as much as it is about inner awareness and you being aware what you're ready for, what you truly desire, and is this person aligned with you? Because we want to compromise boundaries. This is another thing they're talking about. They're talking about your boundaries. If your boundaries are porous and you're allowing, and if this is still supportive to you, don't worry about it. Don't judge yourself too harshly. If you make a mistake, you let somebody in, it doesn't work out, that's okay, right? Don't protect yourself. That's the thing. What is coming from the records. Protection, sometimes it's divine protection. You're already protected, but if you're trying to control it, let go of control. Let go of the outcome. Relax. Everything's going to all is well, right? Do what you need to do as a person. Let go of the expectations. And if you let somebody in and they turn out to be not the right person, oh well, that is called life. That's what they're saying. Really allow life to happen. Trust the universe. There's something for you to learn. It's impossible not to get attracted to people based on past lives, based on childhood, based on familiarity, based on similar values. But does this person have the same vision like you do? You know, I mean, I like a lot of different people, but the thing is, they tell me they want to have kids. I'm not able to have kids physically at this point in my life, and I don't want to, really, honestly. But if they already have children and I can blend into their life, sure, I'm open to it. I love kids. I just don't know that I can't help them physically. It would be too much stress, and I'm very aware of my boundary, and I just can't cross that boundary. So guys that are wonderful and they approach me and they say they want to have children, I'm sorry, that's just not my reality, unless we're going to have a lot of nannies and I'm going to be able to do all the things that I do. But even then, I would have to be really conscious about it, because I need to create space and time for children. And so I really work best with guys that already have grown-up children that are self-sufficient, that are teenagers. That's just what works for me. And I don't mind one day being that step grandma, or being a stepmom. But so this is what the records are really saying. Honoring those boundaries. What are your boundaries? Are you aware of your standards and boundaries? This is very helpful, and they're saying really sticking to it, really honoring it. And if it happens that you kind of bend the rules and you play over here and it doesn't work out, don't worry, don't judge yourself. You are learning. Final question. What aligned action can I take right now to support the manifestation of love? Beautiful. What is that aligned, appropriate action that you can do? You want to know what's coming from the records? It's okay, love yourself. And this is about really accepting yourself. I can't make this up because right away what I'm seeing is this big, gigantic heart sitting on the heart wall of a fortress. And this fortress, if you have been protecting yourself, if you have been hermiting like myself, if you have been not trusting the process, if you have been avoidant a little bit, if you have been, apprehensive, the fortress is coming down. Your big heart is attracting many people. It's going to come down to alignment and availability. Is this person going to amplify me? Are they going to help me grow? Am I going to amplify them? This is going to make sense. I love this. I may even link it in my video. Today, Spirit brought, yesterday, Jay Shetty, who is a personal growth. Everybody knows Jay Shetty, but he's a personal growth podcaster. And he created this beautiful video around science-based manifesting that really resonated with me. I feel like my guides brought it to me. It made so much sense. It was spiritually grounded and it resonated. And I feel like this is what the records are really saying is that you're going to attract more people than you really have time for. And that it comes down to, and they will too, right? And it comes down to vetting. It really comes down to alignment. I mean, there may be chemistry with some people. The records are saying you may have a lot more compatibility, but with the person that's really aligned, there will be enough of both. And it'll just make sense because you're going to be safe and relaxed. I think one of the things that Jay Shetty was talking about is picking, and also Lewis Howe, that is also another podcaster. I listen to, by the way, a lot of podcasters because I love this form. And so Lewis Howe talks about that. That's how he aligned with his wife now, Martha. I can't pronounce her last name. Sorry, Martha. But I love them both. I've been to Lewis's event. He's extremely high vibe. Jay Shetty as well. Some of these guys that overlap into personal growth, they really, really have a lot to tell us, spiritual people that are woo-woo and out there, because they help ground us, guys. And look into my other videos, because in one of them, really what came through is that, honestly, some of us that are really expanded and out there, a lot of us want to maybe align with people that are on the same vibrational path, like they're yogis and breathwork therapists and hypnotherapists. And sometimes we need that person that's going to ground us. And they may be like, in Jan Aniston's case, like she is dating a hypnotherapist. So they challenge us, right? Maybe we need a person that's going to be an artist, a creative, a challenges. I'm just speaking for myself. Like, I've been unmarried to this idea that a guy is going to be this amazing spiritual teacher or a coach. For all I know, he could be a finance person that is open to the spiritual high vibe things. So, if you can also unmarry to these orthodox ideas as to what your mind and your ego and your spiritual things is like, I'm looking for my high vibe person. Well, that could be a guy sitting next to you in a cubicle, okay, where you work. And he, when you get to know him, is super into meditation and wants to do an ayahuasca experience. I'm just paraphrasing because that's what the records are giving me, is for this action to be your opening of the heart and putting aside all of those sort of like details, like the perfect man list, the perfect woman list. Put it aside. really lean into the feelings of what that person, how would you feel with them? I know for me, I need somebody that's consistent and stable and grounded, and that makes me feel safe and relaxed. I can't deal with people that are like super nomadic and living on the road, and they are always like somewhere. Like, I need somebody that's going to come home, you know, and be snuggle with me by the fire, okay? Someone that's gonna ground me and make me feel safe. And I'm just giving you my examples because I'm in the same boat, my friend. And these are my questions as well. So, long story short, there is this fortress that you are putting down. You're letting your heart out. The records are saying the biggest action you can do for yourself is putting yourself out there energetically, spiritually, you know, as a person. Be open, be grounded, believe in the universe, know that you have many options, vet the people that are coming your way. If you're already in a relationship, ask the spirit guides, how can you expand your relationship? How can it evolve? How can it support you? These romantic things are not just for people that are looking for love, but also people that are in love already. So how can your relationship go to the next level? How can you evolve and grow together? Where is this opportunity for you to grow as a couple? All of that is being mentioned in the records. And I'm going to stop right here. And this is all for me and from the records. If you like this content and you love my way of presenting this and channeling from the records, please like, share, comment, subscribe so I can create more videos around guidance from the records, because it truly is, for me, very inspirational, and hopefully for you as well. If you're interested in some personal guidance that comes from the records, I do offer Akashic Records readings. The links will be in the description. And if you want to learn how to access and read the records for yourself, that is the best way, guys. I invite you to check my classes out. Again, links in the description. And I'm sending you lots of love and light. I want you to all find love, expand love, evolve in love. Let's all be with aligned partners and conscious partnerships in love with this, like my coach Jonathan Asley says, juicy, delicious relationships. I'm sending you lots of love and light. Until the next time, my friend.